Lexus strikes once again. The Toyota Camry has gone through its third facelift, I believe. Toyota calls it an all-new design. It is not. But Lexus, they went absolutely bazonkas. And I mean bazonkas. Like, but there's only one way to find out. You got to see it for yourself. And we're going to be checking out the 2026 brand new, all new, redesigned Lexus ES. Let's get into it.
Yeah. I need your love and affection. Yeah. Off the drugs, we expressions of the love that we had. Yeah. Cause it's all a reflection.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Black Park Vine 007 back here with another video. If you know the vibes, hit the subscribe. If you don't bite, give me a like. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. I got the latest and the greatest car chases, car news, and car reviews. Let's get into it. And today we're going to be going over a car review, a new product from Lexus, the 2026 Lexus ES 350. They got all kinds of new flavors, the 350 and a new ES 500. We got to figure out what's going on with that one right there. Hold up.
I'll make you famous.
So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. You're going to learn the history of all the ESs because the ES started off life as a Toyota Camry in a tuxedo, and a little bit of history on the Lexus brand. The Lexus brand started with the LS and the ES. Lexus basically stands for Luxury Export. That's the L and the E, okay? EX is the export, and then US is United States. Lexus was built specifically for the United States. They wanted to have a luxury counterpart to compete with Cadillac and all the other wigs, Mercedes, BMW, boom, boom, boom. And this was their foot into the market. They didn't want to use like premium models of Toyota Camry. They said, no, we need something with Toyota engines. We need something that is completely separate from Camry or from a Toyota, because they're going to look at it as, kind of like what Hyundai did with the Genesis. They looked at the Genesis and like, this is still a Hyundai. So Hyundai finally decided to branch it off and turn it into its own brand. And look how great Genesis is doing. They're doing a really great job. They're making beautiful vehicles. Some people may even forget that this is still a Hyundai. It was still branched off. But this is essentially what Toyota did with the Lexus, and thus the ES was born. And I'm going to show y'all some of that history through my very own vehicles. So I have some vehicles of mine that I want to show to y'all that I've owned. I've owned more Lexus ESs than any other vehicle I've owned, period. This is one of the vehicles that I had for sale years ago. But I brought this one up here because this was the first ES that I owned. It was a 2000 Lexus ES 300 Platinum Edition. This is exactly what this is right here. It is a Platinum Edition. The Platinum Edition only had these wheels right here, the special wheels. You would see these wheels on a similar Avalon, Toyota Avalon. These wheels also on there, but they were only on the Lexus ES300 Platinum Edition. This was the top of the line. And all of them came with the two-tone body color panel. I had this one first. Except it was gray. And it was a two-tone gray, like a light gray up there and a dark gray down there. And instead of it having, I don't have the pictured interior. It was a black interior, and the ES300 Platinum Edition was the only one with the wood grain steering wheel. Now, this one right here, this is a regular ES, but I had this one as well, too. This is an 01, okay? That was a very beautiful one right there. That's the '02 model right that I had right there. Let me get this out the way. See, I can get a better image. So yeah, that was that one. There's that one. This was an '02 model that I had right here. Had a lot of stuff going on here. I took these rims off my '07 one. Now I couldn't find pictures of my '07 one, but that was one of my favorites, all-time favorites. It was the one with the Navi luxury package. It was the top of the line. It had the panoramic sunroof. It had the Mark Levinson sound system in there. It had the automatic shade that came out of the back of the window. That thing was all that, man. And it had a couple of things in there. Booty clappers house. Anyway, so that was probably my favorite ES out of all of them. But yeah, I had that one. These are two ones of that I actually owned. This was my 2017 ES350. I ended up letting that go. I had it for like 3 years. But it had major issues down the line. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ran this thing through the ringer. It had 41,000 miles when I first got it, and I put over 100,000 miles on it in 3 years. Yeah, that's when I first got it from the Lexus dealership. This is my first time getting an actual brand car from the actual brand dealership. Y'all don't understand how much of a proud moment this was for me. Like, I felt so good. It was like, whoo, I got my first car from the actual dealership. I got a Lexus from Lexus. Remember what Kanye West said? It said he said mine's tenant and his might have been rented. Listen, this was the moment that I was having right here. This thing right here. Look at this fishbowl, man. I got a tenant immediately next day. Immediately. And I'm talking front window, all that. 5% all around, 35 on the front. You couldn't see a goddamn thing in this car. But that was that one right there, the 2017. Here you go. So here is the picture of the ES300 Platinum Edition 2000. So instead of this color scheme, mine was all black. Very rare. You could not find that in a car like mine. Okay, very rare. I was 20 at the time when I had that. Keep in mind, I'm 32. I'll be 33 in June. So this was the next one right here I had. I even had this one. I had every generation of Lexus except the current gen, the incoming gen, and the second gen. Which, by the way, the second gen came in a manual. This one right here is a 1990 Lexus ES300. Oh, I love this car. I didn't have the time and the money to put into the project as far as like fixing the suspension and stuff like this. So I ended up letting it go. But man, we're talking about first gen ES, Camry, and Tuxedo, silver with the red guts. This is a time capsule right here. I might find another one. Maybe if I find a champagne gold. You don't see them too often, but they're around. Nevertheless, it's a very timeless piece of art, man. Beautiful. And this is the one that I'm working on now. Y'all see me did a DIY video in there. We're currently working on the O2 sensors, also known as the air fuel sensors. We're going to figure out which ones we need to change. We changed the fuse for that, the air fuel. And we're going to figure out which oxygen sensors we need to change, also known as the air fuel ratio sensors. So we're going to figure out which one. There are 4 in this ES. It's the ES330. And we're going to figure out which ones are those. This is the interior. After I got it nice and clean, very nicely well put together. The last owner took very great care of it. So yeah, man. So that's just a little bit about that. We're going to get into our favorite website here. We're going to go to motor1.com. Okay. So let's go ahead and share that screen here. Add that to the stage right there. So we're going to take this off. A little beautiful thing right here. Let's get into this right here. We have the motor1.com is the website that I always use, y'all. Make sure y'all check this out. This is where I get most of my main news from. They're very lucrative. They're different. They get very unique commentary on the vehicles. You know, it's not like left wing or right wing politics. And if it is, I ignore it. But for the most part, they give a very fair opinion on the vehicles. I try to stay away from the EVs, but this one you want to pay attention to because the Lexus ES is going to come in two flavors for the 2026 model year. It's going to come in a hybrid only, or it's going to come in an all EV, a performance EV. So pay attention. I'm probably not going to get the EV version. Hybrid, I don't even want the hybrid, but I'll take anything combustion over electric. You know, new product you want to typically stay away from. You typically want to wait until like the next year, y'all, when they come out with an all new redesign, new platform, new motor, new all that stuff. You usually want to wait, let the crash dummies buy the first year and let us know how it is, get all the kinks and the bugs out, and you buy like a year or two afterwards. But I'm going to type in ES right here. I use their search thing right here. This is the current gen right here. We're gonna let Gemini. Shayla, how you doing here? This is the new one, y'all. Look at that. Beautiful. A lot of people are gonna feel a little mixed about that. This is the current gen right here. 2024. A lot of people thought we was going to get a third facelift. Newsflash. This is actually the China facelift. China came out with a third gen, a third facelift for that. We are getting the all new one. Haha. So here it is right here. Fully redesigned. This is the EV version. Let's read some details on it. Although the outgoing ES received two facelifts, it couldn't hide the fact that it was getting long in the tooth. Lexus introduced the 7th generation model back in 2018, so it was definitely time for a full redesign. Thankfully, the wait is over. Debuting this week at Auto Shanghai, the all-new 2026 ES brings major updates both inside and out. If the sharp styling looks familiar, there's a good reason. The new ES draws inspiration from the LFZL concept. Let's look at this concept right here. This is the concept right here. You see some of the design cues are definitely there in the lights right here. Let's look at some of the design cues right here. This is really beautiful. I like this. What do y'all think about this? Let me know in the comment section. The single bar, that's a really nod back to the old school designs. Remember back in the day, you had the Pontiac 6000. Like I really love that old school long, stretched out light. Remember the Mercury Sable had that very long light that just stretched out. I like that old school stuff. Good stuff. Here's a design element that ended up in the ES. So just an idea. Let's go back to here. So there's also, let's see, unveiled the LFZL concept, unveiled about a year and a half ago. While the production version tones things down a lot, they said somewhat. Look, there's that long LED light bar in the back. It's definitely not an evolutionary design. It's a revolutionary design. They completely went a completely different design language. Very bold departure from the model it replaces. We're happy to see this oversized grill finally gone. That grill actually looked pretty damn good with the car. I mean, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Let's look at this grill. Let's look at this grill. Yeah, let's look at this. The grill's fairly the same. This actually went well with the vehicle dimensions of this vehicle. Okay, let's actually Shayla, what were the vehicle dimensions of the 2025 Lexus ES?
The 2025 Lexus ES is a midsize luxury sedan, so it's pretty spacious. The length is about 195.9 inches, the width is 73.4 inches, and the height is 56.9 inches. That's a pretty standard size for a car in its class. Did you want to know about the interior dimensions too?
No, thank you. But yeah. So for its size, it was definitely pretty damn big. But the grill is the on this Lexus is the only car to get it passed because it really went well with the width of the vehicle in the front, and everything just kind of just like went together. So this is a really radical departure from Lexus old design. Some of you may not like it. I personally like it. You know, it's different. I'm just glad that Lexus is keeping sedans alive. You know how I feel about that. U.S. automakers, Chevy, Ford. I'm on your ass. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep sending letters out to Congress. Oh, listen, you cannot force us to buy SUVs. But anyway, we're not going to get into that right now.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
There's also a charging port in front fender signaling the arrival of a fully electric ES, which will be sold alongside the familiar hybrid. Y'all know I'm not an electric car guy, so that won't be me. But look, ES 500E is going to come in all types of flavors. Let's look at some of what they have here. So there's a plug-in port, lets you know that's going to be an electric version. ES 350E, ES 500E with all-wheel drive flavor. Here's a picture of one. This is the hybrid version, okay? The difference between the electric version and the hybrid version, there's no grill here. And the hybrid version is going to have a slim slot. I do like that. That is an old classic nod to old Lexus design. Grills were very slim back then. If you look at the 1997 to 2001 Lexus ES, you'll notice that signature element there. It wasn't that small, but I just like that they got rid of it. And, you know, it's a very classic and elegant feature. Like, you know, with cars getting newer, everything gets bigger every time they redesigned it.
It may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared.
How about just keeping the dimensions of a mid-size sedan? Like at some point, if the ES gets any bigger, it's going to be a full-size sedan. It's like, you know what I mean? Where's the room for the LS? You know what I'm saying? Let it just be a new design and keep a similar size. It doesn't have to get bigger every time you redesign it. In America, everything has got to be bigger to better. Like, come on, man. But let's look at this. These are different colors right here. This gray. You got this. I really love this bronze color right here. Yeah, this is okay. That blue. Look at this. This is beautiful. I love that. I would get that in that color. I would get it in this color. Definitely would get the fully panoramic right here. Unfortunately, these are the electric flavors. This is the 500E. I wonder what horsepower that. Do you know? Do you know anything about how much horsepower is going to be in the brand new 2026 Lexus ES 500E electric vehicle?
The 2026 Lexus ES 500E is expected to have around 338 horsepower. Do you want to know about any other specs, like the estimated range or charging time?
Yeah, let's find out for the EV fans.
So the 2026 Lexus ES 500E is an all-electric sedan with all-wheel drive. It's expected to have around 338 horsepower. That should give it some serious get up and go. Are you thinking about going electric for your next car?
Hell no. Let me know the powertrain specs for the new 2026 Lexus ES hybrid.
The 2026 Lexus ES Hybrid is expected to have a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine combined with an electric motor. This setup should give it around 244 horsepower. The hybrid system is designed for efficiency, so it'll likely have great fuel economy.
And that's all you need right there, y'all. You still got enough ponies right there to rock out in the hybrid, get good gas mileage, and you're in the Lexus. Inside, the changes are just dramatic. The cabin has embraced a minimalist design. There's that screen right there that came from the concept. Trading traditional buttons for a simplified layout. I see some of the climate controls right here. They're touch sensitive. I do like the fact that it's still separated from the screen. I don't like that the Tesla idea of all that is on the screen. Especially, like I said, if you're an older person and you're not trying to figure all that out. I personally don't like the double screen here. I probably would want the single screen. Few touch sensitive short keys remain below the infotainment, plus an old school volume dial for ease of use. Okay. Elsewhere, panoramic glass roof dims at the touch of a button. Oh, I like that's nice. For those riding in the back, there are massaging seats and a dedicated climate control panel built into the center armrest. Holy crap. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this interior, y'all. Look at this interior. This is mint green, right? I'm like a mint green right here. Oh my God, look at that roof. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Will somebody look at this? Reclining seats, y'all. This is beautiful. I hope this is the US version. Let's look at the wheelbase. The new ES is significantly larger than its predecessor, growing by 6.5 inches. That's 165 millimeters to a total length of 202.3 inches. About half that stretch is found in the wheelbase, which now measures 116.1 inches for an increase of 3.1 inches. It is also 2.1 inches wider than before at 75.6 inches. Despite growing, the ES is not replacing the LS. Lexus is telling us it's keeping its flagship sedan. This is the flagship sedan, y'all. Let's go right back to where we was at. Lexus is offering the ES with two new hybrid powertrain options based on the 2-liter and 2.5-liter engines. However, the lesser of the two is strictly front-wheel drive and won't be sold in the United States. America's getting the ES 350 hybrid with a choice between front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. Total system output varies from 194 for the electrified 2-liter powertrain to 244 with the bigger engine. The slowest of the bunch takes 9.4 seconds to reach 62 miles per hour, and the quickest needs 7.8 seconds. Fully electric model comes in front-wheel drive, ES350E, and all-wheel drive, ES500E flavors. Stick to the cheaper EV and you get 221 horsepower, good for an 8.9-second sprint, and a maximum range of 426 miles. Good range, y'all. Great range. This is what we talk about. I hope the range anxiety is not there. I hope it's not as bad. I was driving a BMW i4 when I had my former X3 in the service. I had it for like a month. The range on it was terrible. I didn't get no more than 198, 200. What was the range on this? What is the range on a BMW i4 base model?
The base model BMW i4 eDrive 35 has an estimated range of up to 301 miles on a single charge.
Yeah, see, that's bullshit. I didn't get that. I barely got 200. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, maybe, I don't know if it's because I had a loaner car and they had the range governed. Like, okay, we don't want him to go far. But I don't know. It was terrible. Nice looking car, but yeah. Instant torque. That's all you're getting out of it. Fully electric model comes in front-wheel drive ES350E and all-wheel drive ES500E flavors. Okay. Dual motor variant ups the power and to 338 horsepower and cuts the sprint time to only 5.9 seconds. I'm assuming we're talking about the ES 500E. Because it's a heavier car, the range takes a hit, falling to 379 miles. We should also note that the new ES features all-wheel steering, which allows the rear wheels to turn at 4 degrees, the opposite direction of the front wheels. That is really nice. So, what I don't like is that this is going to have a CVT.
Get the French toast out of here.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Let's look at some of the comments. So yeah, one person said it was ugly all over. A 4-cylinder and a CVT are not luxury. Pensioners won't be buying the EV. One thing is clear though, the LS has been redefined, totally irrelevant to Lexus buyers. It seems like that they're like these brands like kill their products on purpose, like just by like depriving it of advertising, which is a shame. You put all this money into it, developing it, R&D, research and development. That's what the R&D stands for. If you ever hear me say that in the future, and then just to not advertise it, like, come on, man, stop being fucking cheap. You're multi-trillion-dollar companies, billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies. Spend the fucking money, man. Well, I agree, and then y'all say nobody wants sedans anymore because y'all want everybody to buy fucking SUVs. Fuck wrong with y'all. But I'm glad y'all keeping them alive, man. Before Chevy, I'm on your ass. Comments, while I agree with you, and let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this product, man. Would y'all buy this? I think I would buy one. Hybrid only, though. It says, while I agree with you that Lexus should have moved the ES to rear-wheel drive for this newer generation, especially since the GS is dead. Let's go. Somebody talking some sense here. The current ES has sold just fine for being front-wheel drive with a CVT. Lexus in the GS is what I called a missed opportunity. They should have put a manual in that vehicle. There was a video that I covered about manual transmissions and sedans. If you want a full commentary on that, on how I feel about the absence of sedans and the manual transmission, or the fact that they're not dead yet, you're gonna go ahead and watch that video. Okay, that's on YouTube. I just covered that a few days ago, so go ahead and check that out. There was a survey of luxury car owners not long ago that essentially concluded that a significant portion of those owners had no idea which were the driven wheels on their car or how many cylinders the engine actually had. Not everyone is an enthusiast, and in fact, most people are not. Hold up. Did any of the Lexus ESs from 2019 to 2025 have a CVT?
No. The Lexus ES models from 2019 to 2025 do not have a CVT. They come with either an 8-speed automatic transmission or an electronically controlled continuously variable transmission, depending on the specific model and year.
Which ones came with a continuously variable transmission?
The Lexus ES 300H models, which are the hybrid versions, use an electronically controlled continuously variable transmission.
Okay, so it did come with a CVT. That's what CVT stands for, y'all. Continuously variable transmission. That's what it stands for. So CVT. So no wonder. I remember I was driving this loaner, and I'm like, yo, this car feels so underpowered. So I called the dealership. I'm like, what kind of gas going in this car? Breaking. I'm like, is this all-wheel drive? Like, yeah. I said, oh, you know what? That was an automatic, but the hybrids, yeah, nah. CVTs. Anyway, I take that over EV. I'm not happy about that. I'll probably get like a 2025. You know what I'm saying? Price will go down in about a year. So, you still got the current one now if y'all want a fully fat V6. And then they got a more flavorful one, the F Sport. If y'all want to check that out. This is the 2025 ES right here. Love these Matrix headlights, man. Fucking amazing. Let's see what they're talking about here. Let's see what Lexus officially has to say about this. There it is, y'all. That's the concept that we looked at earlier, the LFZC. And you can see some of those elements from the concept did carry over to the ES. I don't see the ES on their page here. Where is the sedan that you're supposed to be promoting? That's what I'm talking about here. Ooh, I ain't seen IS in a minute. That's a 2025 RX. Here we go. Of course, they're only promoting the EV version. What a bunch of wusses, man. I swear. But if y'all are not looking into that radical change, you can get yourself a nice, beautiful 2025. They make these from 2019 to 2025. This is perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and dig into the interior of this one. This is the interior of the facelift one. Comes with a nice old-fashioned V6 automatic transmission, as you just heard Shayla say. This is nice here, man. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. And as always, if you know the vibes, hit the subscribe. If you don't bite, give me a like. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Drop a comment and let me know what you think of this new ES. Okay? And until next time, holla at your boy. I'll see you on the next video.